Oh, welcome back to the Gallagher Shots YouTube channel. My name is Emil and I'm going to reflect on what was a beautiful day at St James's Park in the sunshine. Newcastle now safe in the league mathematically. Jason Donovan was there. How were the Aussie Mags? These are your player ratings for our win against Southampton, and yeah, this just feels nice, doesn't it? Let's go through this one by one, starting with Mr. Goalkeeper Dubravka. He looked really frustrated when we did concede the goal. Other than that, the times that Southampton did come close, I think he was on it and he was getting down to the floor to make some decent saves. There was one in particular where he was really at stretch and kept it out, which is always good. There was a slight worry when there was a mix-up with Richie. A few fans maybe saying he comes off his lines a bit too quickly. And yeah, fair enough. When you've got a dangerous player like Redmond running at you, that can happen. But otherwise, he wasn't really tested apart from that spirited second half that Southampton had. I'll give Dubravka a 7. Manquillo, he had a really decent game. I think it was a nice little continuation from Leicester. He showed more attack this game, and he did keep the ball. And he was able to contain Southampton. I think it was a good collective effort with the defence. He was tracking players with Lascelles, doing that lining up thing where they just kind of don't let them get past. But Southampton did creep behind, and there was a few bits where Manquillo just let them get past because he was a bit slow. However, we're starting to see consistency there, which is always nice. 7 for Manquillo as well. Lascelles seems to be looking fine without Lejeune. I know we had a few concerns about that after the Palace game, but yeah, I think it was decent. There was a bit of his usual backing off, which I didn't like. Maybe some challenges could have been made earlier. It was backing off a lot for when their player scored. Was it not Lerma? It doesn't matter, does it? I'm not the BBC. He kept it all very tight, tracking the players, like I said, and 7 for Lascelles as well. I think Manquillo and Lascelles probably the ones that didn't really defend as well as I'd like them to when they were coming close. But Shea was different. Yeah, he ran himself out of steam by the end. Obviously got a bit of an injury, but that was because of the tireless work rate that he had. He had the usual runs to get the team forward and a few good attacks. Really, Shea's looking time and time again like a great value signing for what we got him for. And untroubled by Southampton, really, Shea. I don't think that he was doing too much of a bad job that let them slip through. But he gets an 8 on this one. Obviously, when off, Fernandez came on. He looked a lot more comfortable than we've seen. I know he's had a few shaky performances. I was a bit scared with Southampton pressing. But yeah, came out of the bench and did a decent job. Dummett's exceptional in this game. He had some minor flaps, but he tightened up during that Southampton spell, really. He made an effort to get rid of the ball, and he was just busting a gut constantly in that game. Really impressive display from our man Paul, and for that I'll give him a 9. Richie, very similar, excellent performance. He looked faster than ever at times. He was just pegging it forward, really wanting to make a difference in this game. And there were some great blocks. He was showing his defensive duties as much as his attacks, and there was a brave diving header which he threw in before Perez just got his 3rd, and that was testament to Richie, really. He got down and really just made sure that we were firing that ball towards goal. He struggled a bit with the Southampton attacks. Like I said, there was that mix-up with Dubravka, but yeah, 9 as well for Richie. I think Southampton coming back like they did, I don't think any team would really have it easy at that point. Key, there was some initial sloppiness in his game in this one, which could have been disastrous, I've got to say, but he stepped up as the game went on. I think he improved, and we're seeing this time and time again. He's really getting back to that form that we saw in the early stages of the season when he came into the team, and he's getting back to his best alongside Hayden. He was unlucky to hit the post as well. If that had been a goal, then it would have been limbs everywhere. So yeah, decent game from Key. Similar, 7. Quite hard to judge, really, when Southampton weren't at their best, but then I don't know what that is, to be honest. But Hayden had an unreal performance. I think he held it together nicely in the centre there. He made that first goal with that outstanding challenge to get it through to Perez, and he picked it up, obviously. Quick thinking with those passes as well. Hayden seems to be really on the ball with that, and he had a crack to find the 3rd just towards... well, shortly after Keys, I think. It was one of the ones where it kind of deflected all over and the keeper still managed to keep it in. Diame came on for... Oh, sorry, Hayden gets a 9. Diame came on for those final stages. And to be honest, I think Diame looked good. It was a little bit of defensive cover. He slowed the game down as well for when Southampton were getting forward because they were very fast. And yeah, he led through to get that little bit of pressure in there and got the 3rd goal. Diame didn't score, of course, but he did hold the ball up nicely. Almiron had a great game. He terrorised their players at times, the constant runs. He was more desperate than ever to score. He won balls that I never thought he'd get to, but that's just what Almiron does, breaks away. And he came close again, and he helped pressure him, and it was a shame to see him go off injured. There was a few bits where he maybe should have passed and maybe weaker shots and things like that, but we've seen a really good sign from Almiron, and like I say, he went off. We're probably not going to see him again for the rest of the season, which is a shame, but give him an 8. Atsu came on, helped that late pressure as well. You saw him flying around in the box before we scored, and that's what he's there for. Man of the moment though was Ayoze Perez. Outstanding game, absolutely exceptional. Cannot fault him really. Even his attacking was brilliant. He was winning balls, but no more to be said apart from the hat-trick. All 3 goals, brilliant. Stretched to get the first one. He took the second one really nicely and latched on to Rondon. And the third one, it was just real great initiative and deadly with that header. Won the game, hands down. Perez was the one, 10. Rondon pushed the team forward as well constantly. It was a lovely ball to Perez for that second goal, like I mentioned. He ran to get the balls despite that usual slow pace that we see from Rondon. You don't expect him to get them. And he made a real effort in the final moments to get that goal for us. I really enjoyed Rondon in this game, held up the ball as always. And yeah, 9 for Rondon. It was a great day at the stadium, real good atmosphere. The flags display was exceptional, for more flags with the inclusive element to it, and obviously the United as one message to go alongside of it. Really feel good. It felt good to be there. Feel good factor was back. The weather was just a bonus. Nat gets a 10 as well. Michael Fish gets a 10. It's just really nice. I do hope that Almiron and Cher aren't too bad with their injuries, but we have to keep together in these next few games. Despite that safety, I think it'd be nice to see how far we can get up the league now, and hopefully there are a few more points around. Elsewhere on the channel, coming soon, podcast going to be about the Over Smiling Faces podcast. It's nice listening to that now that we're getting to this form of wins, and yeah, all of the other usual build-up, away save, FIFA predictions on the way soon, and we're looking forward to Brighton's relegation party next, so see you then. Also, I think I'm still hungover.